Hello and welcome to this week's Devlog video of my project Mini Countries. This video is mostly about the open alpha release because I've reached the 1000 subscriber goal last weekend. I tested the game a lot and I also worked on AI implementations and respond to some of your comments. So let's start the video after the intro. As already mentioned in the last video, I wanted to start preparing the open alpha version when reaching the 1000 subscriber goal. Last weekend I was able to reach the first magic number, and I want to thank all of you for that. So the last week I played the alpha level a lot and found out that the change from the concept to buy buildings by points to getting new building items each month made the game way much harder than I thought. I was hardly able to handle all the resource requests for the appearing cities. So the first thing I had to work on was the city appearance and the new building items possibilities. In the closed alpha version I made CTCP by scripting it in the level file, but my goal always was to realize as much as possible by implementing an AI. So I tested the game a lot and had to make sure the player is always able to solve the current situation by the items on the map or in the inventory. Cities will now not appear that often since the player has enough other things to do at the beginning, especially if more or better resources will be requested by your cities. The other key mechanic I had to work on was the monthly screen with new building items. This is also handled by the AI implementation since I don't want to script that behavior as well. The challenge here was to secure that the player is always able to react on current circumstances to not lose the game. Moreover, the new AI reacts on the choices you have made. For example, if you decided to go with a storage instead of another trade building to be able to distribute resources much better, you will have much more better chances to get more connections in the next monthly summary. One thing which was quite hard to recognize previously was the amount of connections a building has, and what kind of connections are possible for the player. For this reason I added another pop-up when the player places a connection. When hovering a building you see how many connections are available in general and to what kind of buildings the player can connect. For example, a city can only connect to one other city, but to multiple trade buildings. I also added another new feature which would have been requested by you anyway, and that's the possibility to build while the game is in pause mode. That wasn't possible before, but now had been included. But now the information you were waiting for. The alpha version is now available on itch.io, and I'm really excited what you think of the current state. Leave me a comment what you liked or what you disliked, or if you really want to help me fill out the feedback form I've created. You can find the link to the alpha and the feedback form down in the description. Before talking about more features, I also started working on bringing more life into the game. You're now able to see little villagers walking around on your city tiles, and in the near future I will also add villagers to other buildings like trade or industry buildings or animals walking around in nature. I also got some great comments from you below my last video, which is always pretty awesome, and I read all of them. I got great suggestions like the one from Garbage Hunter, who had the idea of adding bridges to the game to connect to islands. That's one thing I've definitely put on my list. Thanks for that suggestion. Borik S reported a small bug. He wrote, "You deleted a junction but only gained one road in return, or am I missing something?" No, you did not. I already realized it when cutting the last video, but I'm very thankful for your attention. That was a very quick fix since there was a small bug in the function which returns all open connections of the hex tile the player deleted the roads from. Another comment I wasn't able to find anymore was about the road behavior in case there are mountain tiles in between. the previous implementation did not distinguish between different hex tiles, so the road went right through the mountain. To make a road go around a mountain, I had to make a small change to the hex tile, and the pathfinding algorithm I already used in my previous project, Road to Your City. I added the property isRoadTile, which currently only checks for the tile type to be a mountain. And in the pathfinding algorithm, I only take hex tiles in consideration, having the property set to true. So in the end, no more roads will lead through mountains anymore. One of the next steps will be modeling the missing buildings and finally some more animations for bringing even more life to the game. Moreover, I created a sound design document, so the final sounds will be in the game in the next weeks. You can really look forward to that in the next devlogs. And that's it for today's video. I hope you liked the progress of this week and give the alpha version a try. As already mentioned, I would love to get some feedback, and I'm very excited what you think about the current state. Like this video if you enjoyed this week's episode, subscribe to the channel to not miss the next interesting progress updates. Stay healthy and see you next time. Cheers!